Dressing is one of the most basic and essential activities of daily living, but it can also be one of the most challenging and frustrating for some people, especially for the elderly or those with disabilities. For these people, getting dressed can be a time-consuming, painful, and stressful process that requires the assistance of another human being. But what if there was a robot that could help them get dressed without causing them any discomfort or distress? A robot that could perform the two-handed movements of a care worker and adapt to the needs and preferences of the individual in their care? A robot that could learn from human demonstrations and respond to human feedback? That is the vision of Dr. Jihong Zhu, a robotics researcher at the University of York's Institute for Safe Autonomy, who has developed a new robot that can mimic the actions of care workers as they dress an individual. Dr. Zhu's robot is different from the previous assistive dressing robots, which were designed as one-armed machines, but proved to be impractical or uncomfortable for the person in care. Dr. Zhu's robot has two arms, which can work together to perform the complex and delicate tasks involved in dressing, such as pulling, lifting, sliding, and guiding. Dr. Zhu's robot can also learn from human demonstrations, using a method called learning from demonstration, which means that the robot does not need to be programmed by an expert, but can simply observe and copy the motions of a human helper. Dr. Zhu collected data on how care workers moved during a dressing exercise, and used artificial intelligence to generate a model that mimics how human helpers do their task. Dr. Zhu's robot can also respond to human feedback using algorithms that make the robotic arm flexible enough to perform the actions, but also sensitive enough to stop or change the actions if the human hand intervenes. This allows the robot to adjust to the individual's comfort level and to build trust and rapport with them. Dr. Zhu believes that his robot could be significant in the social care system, as it could allow care workers to spend less time on practical tasks and more time on the health and mental well-being of the individuals in their care. He also believes that his robot could improve the quality of life and independence of the people who need dressing assistance by providing them with a reliable, efficient, and respectful service. He said, "We know that practical tasks, such as getting dressed, can be done by a robot, freeing up a care worker to concentrate more on providing companionship and observing the general well-being of the individual in their care. It has been tested in the laboratory, but for this to work outside of the lab, we really needed to understand how care workers did this task in real time." He added, "We adopted a method called learning from demonstration, which means that you don't need an expert to program a robot. A human just needs to demonstrate the motion that is required of the robot, and the robot learns that action." It was clear that for care workers, two arms were needed to attend to the needs of individuals with different abilities properly. He also said, "Human modeling can really help with efficient and safe human and robot interactions, but it is not only important to ensure it performs the task, but that it can be halted or changed mid-action should an individual desire it." Trust is a significant part of this process, and the next step in this research is testing the robot's safety limitations and whether it will be accepted by those who need it most. In conclusion, Dr. Zhu's robot is one of the most innovative and promising projects in the field of assistive robotics, as it can mimic the actions of care workers as they dress an individual. It can also learn from human demonstrations and respond to human feedback, making it more adaptable and user-friendly. It could have a huge impact on the social care system and on the lives of the people who need dressing assistance.